We have the red Protoss player from Team Evil Geniuses. He's down 0-1 in this best of 3. It is Oz. And his opponent, spawning in the bottom position as the blue Terran player from Team Cooler Master Storm, it is none other than the very one and only Polt. So Polt did just his standard thing in the last game. Had an interesting way of dealing with the proxy oracle that I really don't see too much of. And I liked it. I liked the way that Polt held off the proxy oracle play. But I'm wondering if he has anything else up his sleeve this game. Probably just going to be another Reaper expand. It's just kind of something that Polt does, especially on a 2-player map. It could be risky, very, very risky to go for anything like a command center first when Protoss players do occasionally exploitive builds like proxy oracle. So let's find out. Oz is going to plant down that gateway. Don't see any reason for Oz to do anything out of the ordinary. This is just probably going to be another very standard game from both players. Maybe Oz will do something weird. I don't know. He could theoretically proxy oracle again. There's oftentimes very little a Terran can do as a response to the proxy oracle that gives the Terran player an advantage. So the most you can do as a Terran is kind of defend it. Sets the Protoss player a little bit behind in other areas of tech, but it can be worth it as long as you just spot the Terran moving out, etc., etc. So the barracks way is about to complete for Polt. And the probe comes in and sees everything. She's like, okay, Reaper expand. Makes a lot of sense. She's just waiting for that extra couple drips of gas to come out of the refinery. And Oz is just trying to harass the workers that are mining the gas, but hey, they're just doing their thing. Double gas is on the way for Oz. And this actually feels like pretty late gas from him. I don't know why, but it's probably pretty normal. And now the probes are going to go to mine it. So Oz brings his probe down to the natural, and I'm wondering if he's going to cancel the Zealot and just build the Nexus. Maybe he's waiting. This is so smart. Let the SCV go into the main base, then move the probe to the natural, cancel the Zealot, and start the Nexus, since the SCV can't build an engineering beta block while it's in the main base. Very smart, and that's what Oz is going to do. I love this. This is so smart. He's like, I'm just going to keep the probe tucked behind here. It's a very small thing, but it does make an impact, because now the SCV comes down, and Polt's like, oh, can I block it? No. Okay, well, fine. Probe, in the meanwhile, will come down and just start poking this SCV. He's like, sup, dude? I'm just going to tase you to death if that's fine. Polt's SCV is like, well, I mean, I have to work around, so you have to keep following me. But Mothership Core is coming out as well. Pylon to the back of the main base. And the Reaper shows up. The SCV will make it out alive. He's taking a lot of damage. Delayed the command center by a little bit. But for the most part, the command center is about 20 seconds ahead of the Nexus, so that's very, very close. And now the Reaper's going to go to scout, just do its scouting thing, see if there's anything nefarious being plotted by the Evil Geniuses Protoss players, see if there's anything not nefarious, I guess. But okay, now he's coming up here. The Stalker will push the Reaper away. There's 2 gas geysers being mined, so it's not like anything really weird. This is very standard for Protoss. The Mothership Core will come up here and scout out Polt's setup, which is, I mean, it's the tried and true classic standard Terran setup. There's really nothing more normal for a Terran player than this. And the Marines are going to come up here and try to kill this Mothership Core. And have absolutely no success. So Stim begins, a Marauder as well. And a Forge back home for Oz. No Robo facility yet. He's going for the Forge before the Robo, which does make things interesting. He could theoretically do something weird. But the Reaper will come in and see this, and I'm wondering what's actually going to run through Polt's mind when he sees this. He's going to go, okay, there's a Forge, there's +1, but no Robo facility means it's potentially just going to be something like a very fast +2 build. +2 armor. These Marines are really trying to catch this Mothership Core. He wants to bait out the energy so badly, and he just might be able to do so. Oh, Polt sees it. He sees it. There's the time warp. He does bait the energy out. The Mothership Core gets killed. The Stalkers are doing some great damage to the Marines. The Reaper is here to add that just desserts, and the Stalkers really wanted to kill that Reaper, but no dice. And the Reaper can actually run to the main base, but there is a sentry here. Needs to watch out for the tickle of death. Picks off a Stalker. Polt, very nice play. And he's forced to bring the probes. He's bringing the probes out, and this is really nice. If he kills even just a few probes, that's such a big deal. The Stalker's trying to give chase to this Reaper, The Reaper's health regen is nice, but it's actually kind of on par with the shields being regenerated for Oz. So Polt Stim is coming in. He's got a Marauder, a couple Marines back home. Look at this little weird dance he's doing. He took off 1 hit point from that Stalker, if we don't include the shields. So now Polt has his Starport beginning. Very nice timing for this Starport, by the way. He should have his Medivacs out by 9.5 minutes, I'd say. Twilight Council is on the way, so it does look like Oz wants to go for a build centered around his +2 armor. Potentially Charge as well. Charge is very popular with these quick Twilight Council builds. Maybe even a Charge Lot Archon all-in. I'll have to see. The Robo Facility being added, though, kind of leads me to believe it could be something else. And Polt will see this. He says, okay, there's a Robo. And now there's a Twilight Council. Okay, so this is a little weird, but not the usual build that you might see from a Protoss player. Usually you go Robo Forge or you go for the very fast Templar Archives. But let's see. +1 armor is about to finish. Polt's actually running up, snipes the Mothership Core, gets the Sentry and the Stalker. He's actually picking off almost all the army units with no Photon Overcharge. Polt's just ducking around, and he's going to kill off a bunch of probes. This one Sentry does not have the damage per second necessary to kill this off fast enough. Polt gets even more workers killed. He's picked off 6 probes so far this game. And, you know, you could say 6 probes, okay, not the biggest deal, but that's not really something that he can afford because he's lost all of his army units. Like, the army supply is at 6. He's building a Dark Shrine. I guess this isn't a bad idea because he can still go into Charge Lot Archon behind this, but he doesn't have the resources necessary to really put out a large volume of units. And Polt, moving up to 5 barracks now, is got to be feeling comfortable. He's totally fine with getting a late 3rd. It's something that that's becoming very clear from Polt. He's like, I don't really need to get my 3rd base that quickly as long as you can't get a fast 3rd base. I'd rather hold off whatever attacks you have. So it's going to be the DT drop from Oz. Will the DT drop be enough? There's no missile turrets in the main base. There's one in the natural. These missile turrets blend in a lot. Okay, now there's a missile turret being built in the main base, so because Polt's a ninja. Do you scan? I guess he just kind of assumed it would be DTs because he saw the Twilight Council. I guess that's fine. It's a little weird, but it's fine. 3rd base will probably be denied by a DT. But Polt's saying, hey, you're going to have to warp in some defensive Dark Templar like in the last game if you want to make this work. So Dark Shrine is done. Polt is starting to bring some pressure on here. Some force fields do whiff. There's no charge, which means Polt can kite all day. And now the War Prism making its way ever closer to the main base. This is going to get funky. 2 DTs warped in. 1. Oh, he's going to check the 3rd. Oz, you got to check the 3rd base, man. Polt's coming in. He's going to snipe the Sentry. Good snipe. Picks off 2 Sentries and loads up, ducking away. Now the DTs run to the natural. One of them does get picked off. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And Polt's just going to drop into the main base. There's a Robo Facility being targeted down. There's one Immortal in production, but that Immortal in production no more. DT's tucked behind the natural mineral line, coming in to get some SCV kills. Another one does make its way inside of the main base thanks to this Warp Prism. And he's just going to go to town on these workers now, managing to secure himself a good number of kills. 5 kills in the DT in the main base. Not too many in the one in the natural. He's picked off 10 overall, but he's lost so much back home. The DT defensively, really nice to help whittle down these units and keep the pressure away. Mothership Core is getting to work on these rocks, or I guess this ice. And now Polt's like, yeah, I'm going to come try to kill you. I'm wondering, does Polt have scans? Okay, yeah, Polt actually has a lot of scans saved up, so he shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever making it over here and just attacking Oz. He's trying to keep some of these units alive before he reaches the base. Obviously, he wants to kill the DTs. Now, +2 armor is done for Oz. He's got +3 on the way, so this is going to give his units a bit more staying power. The problem is Polt he has a lot of army supply. He's got a very powerful force. He has the Medivacs as well. Will it be enough against the Photon Overcharge? He's forcing Polt back. This is the beauty of that Mothership Core. He's basically saying, yeah, I don't care if you want to counterattack. Just because my DTs didn't kill you doesn't mean you can just counterattack, is basically what Oz is saying, as this other DT just dancing around the main base. And Polt's using this factory as a bit of a scouting tool to see where the army is positioned for Oz, as Oz gets to work on these rocks. And, I mean, Polt, all he can really do is wait for Photon Overcharge to wear off. By the time Photon Overcharge wears off, he will actually have another Photon Overcharge, so that also doesn't matter. Templar Archives is on the way. Polt snipes a Stalker very nicely. And he's just going to, he dives on a Zealot, still losing Marines, and now DTs are going to be sent out. He wants to just make Polt burn scans, which is a smart strategy. Polt will scan and kill a DT. There's another DT basically waiting, and Oz is just going to try to buy himself lots of time with DTs, and, well, like I said, he already has another Photon Overcharge, so there's no way for Polt to actually attack. Well, I mean, he can. He could try to jump into the main base, but there's a lot of units here for Oz. With that +3 armor versus only +1 attack, his units ain't going to do any damage versus Oz. Like, Oz is basically going to be sitting here, like, super powered. And here comes Polt running in, attacking these Zealots, trying to do what he can, and Archon being morphed in. Where's the Photon Overcharge? It's not activated yet. Is he going to use Time Warp for the Zealots? I don't know how I feel about this. There it is activated. Now the Archon coming in, the DT, lending its damage as well. But Oz just does not have enough army supply to deal with this. Polt saying, I don't care how much you want to defend, man. I've held off so much of your attacks. Another DT makes it into the main base somehow, going after these SCVs. The SCVs actually have a hard time killing the DT since it has 4 armor, but Polt, he's being shoved back by the +3 armor charge lots. They are just so damn good. And he's going to force the Terran player back. These Zealots can't do too much more. Polt's going to sim try to catch up the rest of these forces. Will he be able to make this work? He's going after the Nexus with a lot of Marauders here. That blows +3, really all that's keeping Oz alive at this point. Basically acting as his life support. And Oz does push Polt back without losing any of his economy. The problem is he just keeps losing actual units. Now, Storm Research has begun, so there's an opportunity now for Oz to make some sort of comeback if he can get really good storms off. But no, actually, he's just going to tap out. So Oz just like, yeah, I give up. That's it.